Well, hey, y'all. It has certainly been a long time since we have visited with each other. And I want to tell you, first of all, early on, to keep from seeming dramatic, that the good news is there wasn't really anything crazy going on or negative that went on that kept me separated from you, other than just my own self. So that's good news. In the last 6 months, I've had some personal health things. We'll get into that. Not so much today, but definitely another day. And as I catch up with you about what's going on in my life. So the last time we talked was about June of 2023, and June of 2023 I was kind of a basketball mom. Our oldest daughter Maisie had just she completed her first season of school ball, and in June we went with the team to San Diego to play in a tournament there, and we had a great time with the team. And I'll take you into some clips of my garden real quick at the time. That side bed that I had on the side of the house. And I've let my dang dog in. That bed ended up doing really, really well. It had a cherry tomato plant that just went so crazy. And I'm going to pop over real quick while I go let the dog in and show you a little bit of video of that bed and how it looked, because I'm going to have to wash my hands and everything again. This is as crazy as everything has gotten over here. Harvesting the cherry tomatoes has gotten to be just dang near impossible. So we've made the decision to go in and actually take down the cherry tomato, because there are other things in here, and at this point the cherry tomato is so big that, you know, nothing else can probably be going on. We've harvested, oh, that one's ready, probably 3 or 4 cantaloupes that have been amazing. So they just pop up out of nowhere. And these kind of are really cool because you know when they're ready, because they just slip off. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like before I start cutting at it. This is my phase 1 pile. This is not a trash pile. This is a trash pile. I'm gonna get all the tomatoes off of that. That's another reason why I'm doing it like this. So we picked cherry tomatoes out of that bed until probably well into July, and we got so many different kinds of tomatoes out of that bed. We didn't get very many peppers because again, everything kind of got drowned out by that cherry tomato. So I definitely enjoyed overplanting the bed, but I didn't enjoy the idea whatsoever of trying to do anything to clean that bed up. So unfortunately, that bed stayed crazy well into the fall. And in the fall, I thought that I would get it cleaned up and I would just be on my merry way. But the thing is, and something I'll talk more about in coming days as we talk about my garden more, is I had a thought that I wanted my beds to be on the ground because we get flood irrigation. And so I wanted to be able to, I gotta go grab a washcloth. So we have flood irrigation, and I really wanted to try and be able to take advantage of that inexpensive water as much as I could. So when I put that bed over there on the, I don't know, the east side of the house, we put it on top of where had been some straw bales, and so it didn't really have a bottom to that bed. And for a long time, everything was great. But as we wore on into the summer, it got to be where on this end down here, the north end, was getting to where it had a lot of grass coming in. And then the longer there was no plants in there, the longer we got to where the grass just kind of took over. And so there were, like I said, there were times that I went in there and tried to bring it back to life, and it didn't happen. Just because, like, I would think that it was something was going to take me so long, and then it didn't. So I would get all excited about it, and then I wouldn't get the next phase of it done. So long story short, that fall of 2023 was the first time that I didn't have a garden since like 2017, since I'd started gardening. And dang old dog, he sleeps almost all day long and then wakes up about right now to bark at everything. So then I was left with a bed that was essentially full of grass. And so, like I said, I kept going in there and overthinking everything and thinking it was going to be too hard to deal with. So one day I'd get half of all the soil dug out, and then I would, I forgot my starter. So I got half the soil dug out and separated from the grass, and I was all excited, and then I don't even know what happened that got me off track, and there I was with half of the soil dug out and the other half just there. And that sat that way forever, and it was terrible, really, because I know good and well it didn't take me an hour to dig out that one side, and I just let it get away from me, because this is like getting us into like the spring, early summer when I was trying to get on top of this. So I didn't have early morning basketball going on the way that I did back in 2023. But in this, probably about May of end of May, 1st of June of 2024 is when I started not feeling well. And I didn't ever really get a good tolerance built up for the heat. And I know that it was, according to a lot of people, a hot summer. But I'm usually out in the garden so much, you know, and just outside all the time, that I develop a pretty good tolerance to where I can handle being out in it. And so anyhow, because of that, I just still never really got anything going in my garden. So my garden's been asleep for a while. And there's a couple things like my oregano plant that has literally just been totally neglected. I don't think really anything's hardly gotten any water out there, but there's a couple things that have stayed alive. Like my jasmine is still alive, and my oregano, like I said, it got really bushy, and my grape made it through the summer again. It's still, I'm talking about the Concord grape that I planted, not the old grape. And an olive cutting or so that I planted a year or two ago, it made it through the summer and is getting a little bit bigger. So if you are in the same place with your garden where it's not really doing a whole lot, please don't feel bad, because I'm certainly guilty of that right now. So I forgot my salt too. So, and after the summer 2023 ball, we, Maisie got into a club. Both of the girls did for a while. Got into a club playing basketball. So we really have just been doing basketball nonstop since the early summer of 2023. And now Maisie is in high school. That's so crazy to think. But Maisie's in high school and she is playing basketball. And she's a freshman and she made the varsity team. So she plays she plays so much time for the varsity, like 4 quarters, and then she plays 2 quarters with the JV, and that's good for her because it gives her a chance to really flex the things that she's confident about when she's playing with the JV, and it gives her a chance to take that confidence into the varsity and really build on that. So basketball has become kind of a fun thing. We joke all the time because when Maisie very first started playing basketball in middle school, a coach came up to us and said, oh, you could bring her to a practice for our club and see if she likes it. And she said it's like from 7 to 8:30 every day. And at the time I was like, oh, good Lord, there is no way I would ever be doing something like that. And now it's amazing the things I do so that Maisie can play basketball. And Josie is, she's playing volleyball right now for her school. She says that she's going to play basketball again, but she has found a real passion for playing volleyball. So I might end up being a volleyball and a basketball mom. So, and we love everything that we do serving the basketball team. And as you can kind of see, I've gotten into some other things. I've definitely have not let go of the desire to grow our own food and be good at it and get better at it all the time. But I got a couple more things I got to do to get my bed ready outside. Because we took the shell of my bed, the sides, and we put a bottom on it. And then we got pallets that we can set up on so that we can keep the grass out of it. So that's all ready to go, but there's still the spot out there. There's still the spot out there in the yard where half the soil got taken out and half of it didn't. So we got to level that out. But right now what I'm focused on is I've been making bread. I started making bread right after Christmas because in December I was like knee deep in making Christmas candy. I made a bunch of trays. I think I ended up making about 14 trays for coaches and favorite teachers at the school. And I've been wanting to try my hand at sourdough because I've had a lot of different life changes. And one of them brought me to
consuming sourdough bread. And so I bought a starter from this lady that I like on Instagram, and then I found a guy who really simplified the heck out of making sourdough, because I was so intimidated by the thought of making sourdough, because there's so much information out there, and it just seemed like, gee whiz, like who has the time to make sour bread with all the stretching and folding and twisting and turning and all the things that go into it. And like I said, I found, well, let me give you a disclaimer here. Every time I've ever started a new hobby, I go do a bunch of research, and then I generally join some type of group on Facebook. And I'll tell you what, all of those groups for beginners are generally end up being the same, where beginners are truly trying to get help, and people who've done it forever are genuinely wanting you to know that. So there's a lot of experts, and there's a lot of people convinced that the way they do it is the only way to do it. So it makes it very challenging to learn. But in one of those groups, someone said, you know, go check this guy out on YouTube. He's got an hour-long video, but it's really, really worth the watch. And you'll learn what you need to know about doing this. And after I watched that video, you know, I tried it, and man, this guy really, really, really took all the nuts and bolts and said, here it is. This is all you have to do. And since then, I've been making bread every day. It's really been on my heart to get back to you guys. I miss you a lot. I miss the conversations that we had. I miss being able to share with you different things that were on my heart. Most of all, I miss being able to encourage you, because I always feel my best when I'm serving people and when I am encouraging other people. Now, if you make sourdough, you're going to think that this looks like the ugliest thing in the world. And that's okay, because I promise you it's going to turn into the most beautiful thing. The most beautiful thing when it comes out in the wash. Not the literal wash, okay? So it's really ugly right now, but just ignore that. We're going to set it over there for right now while I clean my hands up and talk to you a little bit more. So, I've really been missing an opportunity to encourage you and to serve you by sharing with you different things that I'm doing and different ways that you might want to do things if you have a mindset or a way of thinking that's similar to mine. And if you don't, then maybe I can just be entertainment for you. If this is the first time you've ever popped in and saw a video of mine and you wondered why does this woman have this many followers, and that's because I had some pretty cool cleaning hacks, and probably the very first video that I ever put out, it's a long video, but it became very popular. And because of that, a lot of people came to know me and became aware of some of the things that I was doing. So what I do around here is I usually tend to keep a garden, and we're about to get on track with that. I'm really pumped to get my seeds started. I don't have seeds started for tomatoes yet, but I don't think I'm really gonna miss the boat by getting them going here in January instead of December. And right now I'm in a season of getting myself back into doing stuff, and so in that season I'm almost refusing to buy anything to get said things going. So if I can't make do with something that I've got right now, then I need to find something else to do, because I because I have so many projects, I could always find something else to do. So that's where I'm at right now. A big part of me wants to apologize, but a big part of me knows that I was out here just kind of living life. And I think as we go forward in reconnecting and you learn more and more about the changes that I've made and the shifts in my mindset, you'll come to understand that there are a lot of things keeping me stuck in places that aren't keeping me stuck anymore. So I hope you have a super, super, super great day, and I look forward to chatting with you again soon. So have a great day.